Hey everybody, it's Brandi with Eternal Harvest Home Decor, and today I've been thinking a lot about lighting. On my girls' bunk bed, there's a section where I would love to have a light, but there is no plug, there's no wiring, and it's kind of stumped me for a little while. I think I've come up with an idea of a way to put a sconce there that's no wire, no mess, and super easy. Stick around and I'll show you how. So this is my daughter's room and everything is a wreck because I'm a real person and this is my real life. But underneath here, as you can see, it's really dark in this section. The original plan was to have my girls up on top and have a play area below, so a light wasn't really needed. However, when they went up on top, they got really frustrated because our dog could not get up there to snuggle with them. So we moved their beds down here, and now they have a loft reading nook up here. However, there's plenty of light up there, just not down here. So I'm planning to put a no wire sconce right up against here, if it'll fit right there. Okay, before I get too far into this video, I wanted to jump on here and tell you guys that I am collabing today with Livin' in Country, and you guys have to check out this channel. They do some awesome things. They have some great farmhouse decor items, tips and tricks. They have decorating small space ideas, and they have some home tours, and they just finished up these faux beams on the top of their house, and oh my gosh, they have me drooling over here. So you guys need to run over to their channel, give them a subscribe and a like, and check out some of their awesome videos, and let me know what you think. And because of their faux beam video, that really is what set me off with ideas to come up with this faux sconce for the wall, for my kids' room. So check out their ideas and let's get on with the video. Okay, I'm gonna start off with the materials that I am using for this project. And the first thing is this sconce that I found at Lowe's. It was only like $8 for the entire thing, and it does come wired. And then over in the lampshade area, I found this awesome globe that I'll be attaching to the top because I think it really classes it up and really gives it a really cool look. And then because this is wired, I'm gonna have to find a way to pull these wires out of here to give it more room for the lighting that I will be using, which is these little hockey puck lights that are battery operated on the back. And they're super simple. They take 3 AAA batteries, three AAA batteries on the back, and they're interchangeable and they should be super easy to use. I used them with one other light that I made, and I really like the way they look. So I'll take this apart and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Okay, so the idea is for the sconce to look somewhat like this. I found this for about $4 and this was like $8, so this entire thing is gonna cost me less than 20 bucks. These puck lights come in packs of 3, and I can't remember the price, but I'll put it all below in the description. So I'm gonna start by removing all of this wiring because I'm actually not gonna be using it. It's wireless, so I'm gonna remove everything. This will lower this space right here, which will allow the puck light to sit directly on top of this here. So that's the goal. I'm gonna go ahead and start removing that now. Okay, so the first thing I needed to do was remove this wiring. So I undid all of the nuts that were all over holding wires in place, and I snipped the wires a little shorter so that when I unscrewed this portion, it would slip out. It was still a little tight, so I decided to take the back off of the sconce to make the wires slip through a little easier. So you might want to have some wire cutters and possibly a screwdriver handy. As you can see, once the back was off and everything was unscrewed, this pulled out fairly easily. And that's just gonna get tossed in the trash. I don't actually need it. Then I reattached the back with the same nuts and got it ready to be spray painted. My daughter wanted it black, so I had some black spray paint on hand, and that's what we did. And now the light and the seated glass will sit a lot more flush with the sconce, which is what I was going for. Next, I used this Krylon spray paint just to give it a quick little black coating, and we were off to the races. Once that was dry, I used my clamp as a vise to hold it upright. Clamps can come in handy that way. And this held it upright while I glued the seated glass globe or lampshade or whatever you want to call it and the light to the sconce. So I need to tell you that I tried to use this silicone as an adhesive. It does say adhesive on it in order to keep the beaded glass or the seated glass, sorry, on the sconce. It did not work. The silicone was not strong enough, so I used something different a little later in the video. That does work, and it works perfectly. However, I used this Gorilla Glue to glue down the puck light to the seated glass, and it worked perfectly as well. It's the Gorilla Glue super glue, and it's the gel form, so I put 4 little dots on the inside of the glass, and it's clear, so you can't see it. And then I detached the bottom of the puck light and held it there for 40 seconds while it dried. Here's the bottom of the puck light, and I wanted to have that detached because I want that to be the only portion that is glued to the glass. The top needs to be removable in order to change batteries, and this seemed to work out really well. Apparently the last version that I did with this adhesive did not work, and I kind of thought it might not, but I wanted to give it a shot anyway. So instead I'm going to use this welding epoxy. It's a clear epoxy. It's super strong and it dries in 5 minutes and it dries clear. So it also comes with a little nozzle so that you can be more direct with where you're trying to put the epoxy. And this is kind of a thin lip here, rim here. So I'm going to clean off the rest of this old silicone, and then I'll put this on and put the glass on and give it 5 minutes. You just pop this top off, and it comes with this nozzle, which I will then attach and be able to put around each rim. This nozzle is so cool because if you can look really inside, it mixes, it's a 2-part epoxy, and it mixes as you push the epoxy through. You can see it there. So I just added a bead of this epoxy all the way around the rim of the sconce, and then I put the seated glass on top, and then I also added a little bit around the edge again. So here's the second one. I slowly added all the epoxy around the rim, add the glass, and then I just backfilled around the edge to give it a little more security. And that's it. Now we're just gonna wait a few minutes for this to cure. It says 5 minutes, but I'm gonna give it a little longer. So basically the instructions say it sets in 5 minutes but cures in an hour. And it does say tile, ceramic, glass, and wood. So hopefully it can handle the weight of this beaded glass. Okay, you guys, I'm back in my daughter's room. There are 2 bunk beds down here that I need to add lights to, so I made 2 of these. And originally we were gonna put the light right here in the middle. But my daughter was worried about hitting her head. Sometimes she sits up to read. So we decided to move it over here towards the side. And it needed to be low enough that she can reach her hand in and turn the light on or off, etc. So we're going to put it right here. I believe there's a stud right here as well. I'm just using my Power Pro screws. I love these. There's no drilling needed. They're pretty easy to use. And I'm just going to go through the 2 holes that were here for normal light and sconce installation. And stick these screws right through, and then I'll touch them up with some black paint at the end. But that's it. That silicone didn't work great, but the epoxy worked really well. It's set up nice and fast and nice and hard, and I don't think we'll have any problems. So I'm going to go ahead and install that right now. And that's it. It's all done. We love it. It works out really well. She uses it every night. It's easy to turn on and off and to change the batteries. It's perfect. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I have a lot more 1-hour DIYs coming up soon.